Massive day for this company on the downside. Basically, they've come out and they've warned that they are being hit by the competition. They've come out and said the margins are being squeezed. The fact that they're hiring as aggressively as they are. They face competition that maybe doesn't face some of those challenges, but nevertheless, this is a huge. Is this what happens when a tech company that's trading on a relatively high multiple, be it a fintech company or a pure play tech company, that froth starts to come out? That's the question that we're looking at here, and that's the question we're ultimately trying to answer. Adyen, as I say, trading 908.50 right now. Let's figure out what's happening and try and understand what the picture really is here and what lessons we can learn. Bloomberg's Alex Webb joining me now on set. What just happened?
Oh yeah, big blow to one of Europe's real kind of tech stars. I think you really look at the valuations here, right? That Adyen was trading close to 60 times its forward earnings. That is juicy, but it's obviously something that investors thought, well, this is a quick, fast-growing company, growing at some 40% a quarter year on year. It's also a company that's doing so profitably. When wind comes out of any of those two things, in this case it came out of both of those things, then it starts to feel
But not by that much.
Not by a significant amount, I think, but it's a combination of the two. And the commentary they're giving was increased competition. And I think there was a certain narrative that basically there were only two players in this space. There was Adyen and there was Stripe. Well, actually, there are a few others, right? There's JP Morgan Chase has its competitive unit that competes in the same space. PayPal has its own competitor. These guys don't have necessarily quite the same pressures as Adyen. They don't need to say.
They're all American companies. Is that
all
significant?
I think so, because a lot of the business growth has been coming in the US. The perception was that Adyen was good at big companies, it was good at European companies. For it to grow, it's going to have to go into the US and go after more of the SMEs. That was a place where Stripe historically was very strong. But of course, as it goes into Stripe space, and Stripe itself is trying to grow, it's coming a bit more into Adyen's space. You put those two things together and you get a bit of head crunching. Don't forget, of course, that Stripe, it also had a down round. It's a private company, venture funded. It had a down round early this year where its valuation was cut from $95 billion to $50 billion. So,
well, okay.
This is something
so commensurate with almost what we're seeing on the screen in front of us.
We have seen Adyen's stock come down quite a long way before today as well. So, generally a certain amount of re-rating in its payment space.
But just kind of taking a step back, there's a lot of froth around AI tech kind of at the moment. Is there a warning here in what we're seeing to the reality of what can happen and how quickly it can happen?
It's something people are very concerned about in the US as it pertains to the big tech companies, as I'm sure you've talked about a lot in this show. A lot of the growth in the US market as a whole is concentrated really just 7 companies. The fairly obvious ones we think of is you add Nvidia, Tesla, some of those guys in there. Any issues that those companies have, if the ad market hadn't been as strong for Facebook as people had wanted it to be, that has really big implications for the market as a whole, given the concentration of growth.
What next for Adyen then? What do they do now? What happens now?
I think that we're probably going to see this re-rating perhaps take it back to a place where it's easier for them to deliver, right? That if the market goes, actually, you're not a company that's going to be growing quite as quickly as we had anticipated. Your profitability is taking a hit because you're facing increased competition. Perhaps that makes it a little bit easier for them going down the line. The fact is that this is a company where there is still a lot of headroom. There is still a lot of space to grow. The question is, at what price can they do it? They've said they want to continue to grow profitably. Given the state of the competition, particularly in the US, that might be something that had to be reconsidered.
Alex Webb, thank you very much indeed. Alex Webb has been happening at Adyen today. The ripple effect into other payment companies as well has been quite significant, certainly into the tech sector. 52-week lows in a number of different stocks. Europe, the stocks 600 has been dragged below its 200-day moving average as a result of this, which is interesting as well. The single stock effect has been quite dramatic today. Anyway, we'll deal with that number in just a moment. The close is coming up next. This is Bloomberg. So, we're wrapping up the day. This Thursday, it's been painful. It's been really painful for European stocks. It's been really painful for Adyen. That is why the Netherlands is underperforming in the way that it is right now. But that's rippled out from the Netherlands into the rest of Europe. FTSE's down by 0.7%. Actually, the miners have had an okay day today. The CAC 40's down by 1%. FTSE MIB's down by 1.1%. SMI's down by 1%. But the AEX is down by 2.5%. And that is the Adyen story that we've been talking about. Let me show you the session, just to give you an idea of what that has looked like. We have faded as the day has gone on. That Adyen selling has increased as the day has gone on. We're now below the 200-day moving average, which is significant. We're going to talk to Abigail in just a moment about the true significance of that, but keep an eye on what is happening here because it's getting a little dicey here in Europe. So we're down by around 1% on the session. In terms of the 200-day moving average, we went through it kind of midday. We had another look above, we had a look below, and then we moved really quite nicely down through it. So we've come through the 200-day moving average. Where are we now? 443. We're trading 451 coming through to the end of the day. So we've moved below it. It's been a really big line, that. Anyway, I'm not going to steal Abigail's thunder, so we'll come back to that in just a moment. Single stocks, let me show you Adyen. This is kind of where we're finishing. I pause. It's ugly. 906, we're down by 40%. That's just below 20 billion euros worth of market cap that has been wiped off today. It is a huge, huge number. BAE Systems is buying Ball out of the Ball's aviation business. This is a space business. This does all kinds of different things, but it allows BAE Systems, which is a huge supplier into the US DoD, Department of Defense, also to move into space, and allows Ball to focus on its tin can business, its can business. There's some sort of symmetry here. Basically, BAE Systems, British company, buying US assets off a US company, whereas Ball actually bought UK assets, Rexel, out of the UK. So I think there's a nice kind of transatlantic swap of assets here. BAE Systems, the concern seems to be that maybe they're paying a little bit too much, but they're saying, the management is saying, assets like this do not come around very long to fit with the strategy that BAE Systems is trying to pursue at the moment. So yeah, the stock's down a little bit. Management seems happy. Glencore, miners are generally up, which is one of the reasons why I flagged it. The other reason, Alex, is that we're looking at a situation where we've now got an Indian company looking at potentially coming in and buying Teck's coal assets. This is the business that Glencore was potentially looking at as well. So it just raises a little bit of competition in that space, or maybe allows Glencore maybe to back away. That stock up by 0.9%.